So Joe, Medici published an article last year talking about how Discover is accepted now all over the world, and that's really thanks to your network-to-network strategy. Talk to me about how that all came about.
Well, it came about through our desire to provide for full acceptance for our cardholders who travel all over the world. And it also came about as a result of domestic networks around the world wanting to be able to participate in a global network, not just their own domestic network. So that's how it came about. But the strategy itself is an ongoing strategy. So when we published with you guys last year, since then we've added on several new net-to-nets, including one called NCCC in Taiwan and another one in Mexico called PROSA. And those two networks together will add close to 1 million merchants for us. And again, a totally different geography, but at the same time, great news for all of our net-to-net partners as well as our Discover cardholders as they look to travel and use their cards around the world.
Absolutely. So what's the latest news then that you're doing with it?
So again, the latest is really around what we can do from an issuance perspective. So the first thing, we sign on our partners and they turn on ATM acceptance, and then they turn on point of sale, and then they begin issuing cards. And so now we have some of our partners who have issued tens of millions of cards. And it's those cards that travel that drive incremental value and volume for us. So again, we're super excited. The strategy seems to be working very well for us and also works really well for our partners. So it's a true win-win.
I think many would argue that Discover is a company of firsts. So talk to me about some of those firsts and what makes Discover so innovative.
Yeah, so I think Discover is a very innovative company. We're always trying to innovate. If you look back at our history, we were the first to offer 24-hour customer service. We have never charged an annual fee for the card. We have a reward program called Cashback Bonus, which has been phenomenal for the industry. So even back in the earliest days, we were setting up for the future and innovating. Lately, we've been continuing to innovate. We've recently introduced free FICO, and we were the first to do that. We were also the first to offer Freeze It, which is a product that allows you, if you've misplaced your card and you don't know where it is, the ability to go online and simply push a button and you can freeze your card until you've found it and ready to start using it again. So again, we continue to innovate. The team at Discover is all about innovation.
So going into 2019, what are some of the trends that you're seeing in the space, and how is Discover ultimately evolving to meet those trends and needs?
So I think there's a lot going on in the industry. Anybody who's been part of it as long as I have has seen a lot of change, and I think the change is happening faster than ever. First, I would say, contactless and mobile. It's really here now. I mean, it's been on the threshold for a long time, but we're seeing a very good uptake in the use of contactless as well as mobile. And again, this is just the way that the millennials and all the way through even my generation, we're transacting now, and we're building our relationship with companies that we want to work with. And so I'd say that that's one of the trends that's really hot. I think the other trend, I think, is around authentication. Today, you want to know that the consumer who you're interacting with is really that consumer. So you need tools and methods with which to make sure that you're protecting that consumer from people taking over their identity, which can happen, from other potential frauds that could occur. So being able to properly authenticate our customers is very important to us, and there are new technologies that we're deploying to make sure that we stay right on top of that innovation.
Well, Medici will be there to cover more first from Discover down the road. So Joe, thank you so much for your insights today.
Thank you.